Alright, yeah, I've been putting stuff on Facebook about my situation and how I feel about the people that are involved. I generally don't like the people that I'm slagging off now. They put me in a position yesterday. The parents that were my parents, I needed money, wouldn't help me. I asked for a little bit of money to secure a car because I got some money coming in a few days, but I needed to secure a car. You know what it's like. If you don't secure the car, you don't get the car. And all I got was but we don't have any money, and they just got off holiday. They've been spending money, right? And I've literally been sat in this destitute fucking place. Look, no TV. Look, I've got no TV. I've got my laptop, right? But I've got no TV, right? So they said to me, this is what it's like to be a Haslow. Oh, we'll get you a TV. I said, yeah, well, don't get me a cheap TV because it's pointless. We got a TV last time and it was cheap and it was shit, so we had to take it back. And I had to fucking go through that process of going, oh, I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with the TV. And they look at me and they go, he's trying something on. Because that's what I get from people in Swindon, right? That's what I get from you shopkeepers in Swindon. You think you have some kind of control over me, right? But, I'm crazy. So if you think you can control me, wait outside your shop and I'll come with a fucking baseball bat and I'll break your fucking face open, right, for trying to be cocky, right? And that's not just one shop person. That's not just one cash converters, one CEX, one fucking regenerate, right? All you slags, right, have done me wrong. So I'm going to do you wrong, okay? You're going to be shut down, right? Because I'm going to make sure that no customers come into your shops, right? And you can't have me arrested because it's freedom of fucking speech. Yeah, so I'm going to look for a megaphone, one of these things that police have. I'm going to look for a megaphone and I'm going to use it. I'm going to stand outside the shops. I'm going to walk around the town centre. I'm going to belt out. I'm not going to be swearing and being, rude and disrespectful because I'll get told they'll try and take the megaphone off me. But I am going to tell some home truths about the people that work in these pawn shops, right? Most of them don't deserve a job, right? They haven't got the skills to do the job, and their customer service is whack, right? So you're talking to a girl with a nose ring in, 15 fucking tattoos on her face, right? She literally has no clue about life whatsoever. She's just come out of her mum's vagina. She's gone to school and she's now just literally getting on the start of life. And they think that they can teach the poor people a lesson by saying that they won't take their goods, right? Well, the tables turn. Right, CEX employees, cash converters employees, all over the country, regeneration company in Swindon. Right, you're not making money. It's obvious to us now. You're not making money. We've been watching you for years. You're not making money. You're selling Rolexes. Nobody's buying that shit. You're buying it, but you're selling it, and you're not making a profit. Right, and I'm telling you now, there's no way you can keep a shop on Commercial Road without making a fucking lot of profit. Right, it's thousands for a rental per year. So there's no way that these shops will be open within 6 months to a year, right? Because I've watched the pattern of nobody goes in them. Right, there's literally empty shops. People go in CEX because it's in town centre. Nobody goes in Regenerate. The only people who go in Regenerate are the crackheads from the pub across the road. Right, the reason they'd go in there is because they're selling soul and shit. But the black woman that owns it, right, who got me banned, arrested, and put in hospital, right, she's selling fucking cannabis, right, on the side. So anybody who's buying and selling shit from there, if you don't like drugs, you're fronting it straight away. You're paying their way by buying their crap. Right? They haven't got anything good in there. If they had anything good in there, it wouldn't have been put in there in the first place. right? Because I don't sell my good stuff, right? Yesterday I shouldn't have taken that tablet, and I tried to bring it back, and that little prick, he's gonna see me again today, and he's gonna know that I'm after him, right? Because he owes me £100 for that laptop tablet. So somehow I'm gonna get that money, right? If it means following him, breaking his legs, doing whatever I got to do to make him realise that he should never have crossed me, then I'm in that frame of mind. I've got nothing to lose. I'm already wanted by the police. I've got no money. I've got nothing to smoke. I've got no. I've got food. I've got food because the people that used to be my parents couldn't leave me without food. Right? They had to buy me food. But at the same time, I had a conversation with them 6 fucking times, telling them I didn't want to go to the cinema, and they tried to make it an event, you know, like, oh, but wouldn't it be nice to go to the cinema with your dad? Fuck off, right? You tried to use that against me. Once again, you tried to use what I need to try and control me, right? So I spent all night from 4 o'clock this morning applying for fucking work, right? I'm applying for work. I don't want to work because I'm ill, but because nobody will help me in Swindon, not even a fucking friend will lend me a spliff, right? You know, they're so fucking disrespectful that they say to me, I can't give you a spliff. I'd never, ever, ever in my life have ever turned anybody down for a little bit of smoke, right? If I know them and they're my friend. If I see them and smoking a joint, do you want some of that? Right? And they always go, oh, no, I don't want that. Go, good, because I want it. But I always offer it, right? Because I'm not a Haslope. I wasn't born to be a Haslope. In fact, it's official, right? It's official. There you go. An official driving license with my real name on it, right? The name I should have been born with. The name I should have been, the family I should have been born into, right? But there wasn't a family I could be born into. Right? I had to make that family, right? And God took that away from me so that I could continue this path to go to the stratosphere, to go to the top, right? You may think this is bullshit, but trust me, I'm working on something that has been going for 30 years, and every turn is another confirmation, right? Just sitting here making this video is another confirmation that I'm on the right path. Telling the world that my parents, who brought me up to the age of 45, were fucking terrible to live with, right? Being a Haslope is like being the bottom of the pile, right? The way that people speak to my mum, right, because of the way she talks, this woman that gave birth to me, my dad, people take the piss out of him because he's so nice, he's a lamb, but you know, I'm not like that. I'm not from that background. I'm not from their generation. I'm nothing like my brother. I don't come from the same family, the same background, the same beliefs. Right? I'm not like those people, and I've changed over the years and proved that more and more, not to me, but to God. Right? And I'm telling you now, I'm going to receive a reward from God, right? For my beliefs, whether that be in this life or the next, right? But because I believe that I'm actually walking the righteous path that I was put on by Him when I was younger, then you've got no fucking chance. You've got no chance. You think I'm going to give up this for that? Yeah? You think I'm going to give up the life that I'm leading to be a Haslope, to be a loser, right? Somebody that you know, I can't even say my name in this town without somebody criticizing me or bringing me down or saying something or whatever. As soon as my name comes up, the police know it, the doctors know it, the postman knows it, right? Because I've had a go at them. Gangsters know it. Fucking people know it, right? They know it because, you know, it's just a name that is unusual to hear, but when you know who it belongs to, it sticks in your mind. So, like I said, I've got a new identity, new passport. I'm looking for a new place to live. I'm looking for a new job. I'm looking for a new woman, and I'm looking for a new dog companion. So I need a place where I can have a dog. And to be honest, I'm looking for new parents, right? Audition here, right? I'm looking for new parents, somebody that can actually help me with a plan of building a financial stability, stable future, right? Instead of just saying, so when do you get paid, right? Actually helping me build a plan, formulate a plan to get to the point where, I mean, you don't realize to earn money on YouTube, you've got to do a lot of stuff. You've got to jump through a lot of hoops for what they want you to do. You must have so many yeses and no's and all this and all that shit, right? It's all meant to fucking put things on you so you can't just suddenly start making money, right? Because that would be too easy. Everybody would be doing it, right? But trust me, doing this ain't easy. Right? You sat on your desk watching me now because you're at work at lunchtime, whatever. Right? You think I'm having a great time. I'm not. I'm killing myself every day. For weeks, for months, I starved myself. I literally ate bread once a day, right? But one slice of bread a day for weeks. Why? Because regardless of what I know I need the money for, I always spend it on weed because I'm not okay without it, right? I've always got in trouble without it. So having it keeps me out of trouble. So it stands to reason that I should have a prescription for it, right? I should have a prescription for it because I rely on it. It's like nicotine. I'm addicted to it, right? Some people are addicted to alcohol, but that's only because it's the ease of getting it. Unfortunately, I like the hardship of trying to buy illegal fucking substances to smoke. But as I say, people are starting to, each one of them, count them on one hand, they've all tried, friend or foe, in the last couple of weeks to try and manipulate me, try and control my addiction. I'm 30 seconds away from walking in the house with a fucking pistol and pistol whipping the cunts. And taking the fucking lot. Everything. House, car, fucking money, woman, child, wife, whatever. Take the fucking lot away from them. Right? That's what they do to me. I die inside every time they say no. Right? Because I've got to come up with some other way of making money. Right? So what that bloke did in CEX yesterday was took offence about me. So CEX employees, I'm going to take offence about you. And when I see you walking around with your CEX shirt, I'm going to abuse you. I'm going to shout abuse at you. I'm going to follow you to your doorstep and hurl abuse at you. I'm going to camp outside your front door and wait for you to wake up at 8 o'clock and go back to work. And I'm going to walk into town and throw abuse at you. You will never be free of me. Right? How fucking dare you do what you did to me yesterday? Right? And I'm still yet to find out what's going on with my property. I can't get my money. They've stitched me up. Basically, I'm going to make it my mission to shut that shop down. And I'll do it in 24 hours. I guarantee, once I get that bullhorn, whatever they fucking call them, once I get that bullhorn, I'm telling you now, right, that shop is going to shut. Right? All those little employees, they're going to lose their job. And in a few years' time, I'm going to see them in an interview in my office. Because I've done it before. And when they come to me and say, I need a job, the table's turned. Right? And I'll be honest here, I'm not going to employ young fucking idiots. If you've got nose rings, see, this is the thing. I was reading about work and what they wanted. Now, Iceland, they stipulate. Now, what right does this have in any society? They stipulate that you can't have nose piercings, eyes piercings, whatever. You can't have facial piercings. You can't have facial tattoos. If you've got hair, it's got to be tied back and cut. If you've got a beard, it's got to be trimmed. Right? Oh, and if you've got uniform, it has to be cleaned and pressed every fucking day. Right? So that you can make a good image. But they'll only give you 2 uniforms. So you've got to wear that for 5 days, 6 days, 7 days of shit. And you've got to wash it. And you've got to get it dry by the next day. But they won't give you 3 or 4 uniforms because they only budget for 2 uniforms or 3 uniforms if you're lucky. Right? Or it'll be 2 t-shirts and 1 jumper. Or there'll be a variety of stuff. You've all been employed. You know what it's like. But when I read about why I don't want the job, right? Who the fuck in their right mind wants to work for Iceland, right? Who can't have a beard, can't forget to shave, right? Don't grow their hair, has a tattoo that he got in prison or something and he's changed his life and he's trying to get his life together, or he's got a tattoo visible on his arm and he has to cover it up. We're not in the army, right? We don't have to be cleanly shaven and fucking shaved head, right? And, you know, you have no right. Employers have no right to tell me what I can and can't wear, right? They have no right. They can tell me I wear their uniform, but they can't say things like, you can't have a neckline showing. So if it's cold and you want a t-shirt under, you can't wear that t-shirt because the neckline will be showing. Iceland, get your head out your ass, right? It's fucking England. It's almost summer. It's spring. It's about to fucking rain. I can see it. Right? And you think you have control over poor people that need money. Right? Your shop is shit. The food is shit. Right? It's cheap shit. What right do you have to be the best dressed fucking employers in the country? Right? You don't provide a service where if you were a chauffeur, you're chauffeuring around the rich and famous, right? You dress up in a suit, you put a hat on, cap on, and you dress for the occasion, right? You look the part for the job you're doing. It doesn't matter to the old lady waiting for her fucking groceries that I've got a nose ring or I've got an eye piercing, or she doesn't care. She just doesn't want to have to lift the fucking shopping up the 10 flights of stairs to the council flat that she's got to fucking get it to. Right? And that's my job as a driver. Right? That's our jobs, delivery drivers, to take it to them. It doesn't matter what I look like. I could have a bag over my head. Nobody gave a fuck about me wearing a mask all the time when I was working during COVID. You couldn't see my face. But now if I cover up my face, they say, oh, no, he's up to no good because you can't see his face. Right? So that's the reason why I haven't worked for 3 years. Right? Because I don't see the point. I don't see the point in doing a DBS check because I'm always getting in trouble. I don't see the point in doing a fucking drugs test because I smoke weed and the occasional line of coke. I don't see the point in working all the hours God sends. So I'm only asking for part-time work or casual work, right? I don't see why everybody in Swindon has to adhere by 5 companies' rules. Amazon, WH Smith's, you got all the umbrella, the companies of delivery companies, so they're all under the same umbrella of DHL or whatever. So delivery companies like Amazon dominate and rule, right? Prime, you know, don't ever be a self-employed driver for Amazon. They may advertise 250 quid, but they don't tell you that they're going to rip you off when you bring back the van. They're going to rip you off when you have damage to the van. You know, you might go past a bush, it scratches it. When they come to take the van back, they're going to look at that and go, ah, that's a grand fucking damage. Right? So, you know, people buying stuff off Prime, those drivers are under a lot of conditions, a lot of stress. Most of them don't speak English. They live in their vans, right? They travel from places like Southampton. They don't come from Swindon. They come from Southampton, and they could travel down from Blackpool, right, during Christmas time, because that's what they were doing. Christmas time when I was working there was bringing people down from different areas to work in Swindon. But what they were doing is getting them to drive fucking 3 hours. They get to Swindon, they load up, then they got to drive back to the area where they're going to be working. Then at that end of the day, they got to drive back to Swindon. So what they do is they meet up and they get everything thrown into one van, so that one van only has to come back to Swindon. The rest of those guys, usually Romanian or something, the rest of those guys live in their vans. That's why they stink and they don't have clean clothes, right? So if you really want to judge people on the way they look, it's the Amazon drivers that you should judge, because they're sleeping in their vans, they're shitting in bushes, they're not cleaning themselves, they're not bathing, they're not going to have a shower every morning. They don't have time to go to the gym, so I know they haven't got time to go to the shower in the gym, and they literally send their money back to Romania and live in a van, right, rent free. And if you look around the industrial estates where they work, they're all parked up, sleeping in the back. No parcels or anything like that, but they are in the back of the van, sleeping after their shift. And like I said, they come to work, they don't wash, they don't bathe, they stink, right? And they proceed to keep talking in Romanian without trying to communicate in English. So, Iceland, you think you can tell people what they can shave, what they can't wear on their hair, what they can have, what tattoos they can fuck off, right? That's why you're a shit company that's going downhill. Mothers don't go to Iceland anymore because it's shit. Right? The only mothers that go to Iceland are universal credit mothers, right? Or the woman that used to be my mother, because she thinks that, under the impression that I said I like the food in there, that I'm going to want that for the rest of my life because it's cheap and it's easy for her to supply me with food when I need food because it's cheap. Right? She doesn't have to do a shop. She literally picks up the fridge in Iceland. Yeah, there's a couple of packets of those. Yeah, there's your dinner for the week. You know, that sorts you out. Right? But if I had my choice, I'd be in Marks and Spencer's or Waitrose or somewhere decent where the food is better. So I'm applying for work, but there isn't a company in Swindon that will employ me. There isn't a company in Swindon. Not even fucking dealers would employ me. I can't even get a job as a drug dealer. Right? Because I'm unreliable with the weed I smoke it. So I can't be a drug dealer. I can't be a pimp. I'm hustling every day. I don't like the idea of going gangster on people all the time, but sometimes you just got to tell people that they're messing with fire. Like that Good Samaritan, that black guy yesterday. I don't know what he thought he was doing, but he was inches away from getting fucking laid out for touching my arm. And then proceeding to try and make me look like a fool, saying he didn't touch me. That's what annoyed me. That's why I nearly punched him, because when I said to him, don't touch me, he said, I didn't. And because I'm causing a scene, or the scene is happening around me, people are looking at me going, oh, he's causing trouble. But no, the black man who interfered, the one I'm going to see later on, he's the one that interfered and caused the trouble, right? Even more so that I told him to fuck off, and he did. Right? Because he knew that he touched me, and he knew that I wasn't happy about it. Right? And I said to him, you got to start fucking. I said the cashier anyway. You got to start treating people with respect that come in these shops because they pay your fucking wages, right? But they don't, because like I've said before, it's a front. It's a front for fucking criminal activity. There's nothing being sold out of the free pawn shops in Swindon, right? The art shops are selling more than the shit that they've got in the pawn shops, right? Ban me because I complain. Ban me because you don't like me. But trust me, it's me that's going to ruin you, right? Because I'm going to set up business. Once I have my money, my income coming in and I'm working in, I'm going to set up business and I'm going to take the business away from you. All three of you. All three shops, right? Nobody's going to buy your shit anymore. Nobody's going to sell your shit to you anymore. They're not going to get ripped off by you anymore. And each little fucking maggot that works in there is going to want a job, right? And nobody's going to employ you in Swindon, right? Nobody's going to employ you because the stigma of working in CEX, cash converters, and what's that other dog shite company? Regenerate, right? The stigma of working in those shops will be worse than McDonald's. Right, you'll be branded, right, a loser for working in those shops from now on, right? All you've got to do is wait to see what happens after my video's aired, right? And if it doesn't air and I don't get fucking 100 views, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again until somebody starts paying attention, right? The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a video in town, right? Perfectly legal, doing nothing wrong. But I'm going to do it near the premises and I'm going to be talking about the company and slagging them off right in front of all the people that are going in there, right? And they're not going to be able to do anything about it. Can't move me on because it's freedom of speech, right? So you want to play fucking mind games with me? I've got nothing else to do. I've literally got nothing else to do but to come and wind you up today, sir. Yeah, so once again, bank holiday. Same thing happened last time. The same thing happened last time about bank holiday. It just so happened that at bank holiday, the person that I was getting smoke from, a friend, just happened on that time to not be able to give me a deal or whatever. So this time I knew to be prepared, right? Because it wasn't that they didn't have the weed or they didn't have money or whatever. It was just purely because they wanted to be in control on bank holiday. And I'm here again now, bank holiday. So I will guarantee that if I send a message to this person, I'll get the same answer. Oh, I can't sort you out what I owe you. I can't do this. I can't do that because it's still bank holiday. But come tomorrow morning, right, he'll be on the phone, or I'll be on the phone saying, have you sorted it out yet? And he'll say, yeah, I'll sort it out today. It was for a tracksuit. So, and it wasn't even for him, it was for his nephew, son. So, you know, we'll see who's playing mind games. Right, because I'm already aware of what was going to happen 3 days ago today. And now I'm here. I know what's going to happen today, 3 days ago. So, we'll see. Let me see how clever people are today. Right? I can't get communication with anybody. I can't get any money. I've got no fucking smoke. I've got no weed. I'm in the same boat. Same boat again. Right? Because that guy wouldn't be a fair businessman in CEX. Right? So I'm a grown man making him quiver with fear because he knows he's done me wrong. He knows in his heart he's done me wrong and I've caught him out. And he's quivering because he's thinking, nobody's ever caught me before. But I knew what he'd done. Why? Because fucking God told me what he'd do. Right? I knew what he was going to do. Yeah? The minute he asked me about my ID, I knew he was going to fuck me over. So I'm going to fuck him over. But I'm going to do it in ways that he wouldn't even expect. Right? I'm going to advertise all over the internet. I'm going to tell people in the street. Right? I'm going to record videos around town so that people know not to go in your shops. They will boycott you. They will boycott you if they think that you're a criminal. They don't care about me. They know I'm a criminal. Right? They know I'm a criminal. They can tell I'm a criminal. Right? But if you're supposed to be a legitimate business and you're doing criminal shit, people will boycott you. You'll lose your job. You won't get any money. Right? And like I said, if I ever have a windfall, just for the crack, I'll open up a pawn shop. Right? I'll open up a pawn shop and I'll wait to see what pathetic things people bring me out of their lives for money. And I'm going to ask them questions like, what do you need the money for? And they go, oh, I'm desperate for nappies. I'm going to look at them, and if I see that they've got bloodshot eyes, they fuck off. You want it for crack? Fuck off. Right? Oh, you want it for weed? Oh, I understand that. But no. You can't have any money for weed. No. We don't do that here. No. The only thing we do is buy shit, load up the glass cabinet at the front, and never shift the stuff. It's still there from 5 years ago. They don't change the window display. All the products in there are 10 years to 15 years old. Right? They're all overpriced. If you want a laptop for 40 quid, right, then you're going to get a 15 to 20 year old laptop. If you pay 100 quid for a Chromebook, you're going to get the height of the technology and you're going to save money. Right? So don't go and buy second-hand electronics. It's a con. It's a con. They take your money and give you a product that you can't get rid of in a year's time. They hold on to it. They then try and sell it back to the people of the town as cheap electronical goods. But you're stuck with technology you can't get rid of. You get a car, it breaks down. The tow companies will literally say to you, they'll pick your car up, right? But they won't do it for free. They want paying 50 quid. How much is the car? 80. So you want me to give you fucking 50 quid to pick the car up, take it to We Buy Any Car or a scrapyard or whatever, and you're only giving me 50 quid or 100 quid, and all I get is 50 quid. What the fuck? Right? Cars are worth 500 quid. But the minute you're desperate, the minute society sees you gripping on for fucking dear life to the reality that you're living, the minute they see that, they'll put a gun to your head. They'll just put a gun, poof, that's it, gone. Right? Out of mind, out of sound, out of mind. Right? If they can't control you, right? That's what they do. They write you off. They write you off as being for better word, unroadworthy. Right? You're unroadworthy. Now, what was that film I was watching? Economically unviable. Right? Black guy in, what film is it? I was watching it the other day. I'd like to say it was, what's that film? Malcolm X. Right, it was Malcolm X I was watching. Denzel Washington. And first time I'd seen it, so I was into it. And I didn't realise it was 3 hours long, so I sat up all night watching it. But it's a good film. And the bloke's there outside the bank or whatever, and he's being arrested during the 60s because, you know, he's black and it's prohibition and that. Not prohibition, segregation. Basically, they cut him off, and he said, the reason I'm being arrested, and he's shouting it. The reason I'm being arrested is because I'm economically unviable or inviable or unviable, something like that. Economically non-viable, which means he's the wrong colour, right? He hasn't got the right amount of money. He's not living on the right street. He's not living in the right address. His kids don't wear the right uniform to school. It's all society playing mind games with you. Mind games, right? You know, does it really matter what school your kids go to? That you have to belittle other people? I'm educated enough to stand up in an argument and fucking fight back. And I was kicked out of every school I ever went to. So don't ever question my intelligence, right? Because I'm a lot smarter than the average bear. Yeah, boo boo.